Hello, lovely people of the internet. Welcome back to Sincerely Seth. As always, I am your host, Seth. So it's been a little bit since I posted. My bad on that. Life has been kind of hectic. Some awesome advancements lately. New job, new apartment, a bunch of really cool things happening. So I haven't been AWOL just because I hate you guys. Of course not. I've been AWOL because I've been blessed lately. I've been living my best life. I've been trying to, be more present with the people around me aside from just spending all my time on the internet. Even though you are all amazing and I love being on the internet. Anyway, this video is essentially the first in kind of a series I'm thinking about doing how-to videos. Because as I mentioned before, this page is going to be a mixture of multiple things, whether it be vlog style or advice or things of that nature. But a lot of people have told me that I have a bunch of little random assorted talents and things that I can do that they love to hear about or love to learn. So I figured why not kind of just take it to the internet and kind of share that with you guys. So today's how-to is how to take really good photos with your iPhone or just any phone for that matter. As I mentioned in my first intro video, I'm a photographer, SincerelySeth Photos on Instagram. I have a website that I'm going to link somewhere eventually. So I take photos. I've been taking photos for a long time. My parents actually met while my dad was a photographer in college and my mom needed some photos taken. So photography is a very special thing to me and I hold it near and dear to my heart. It's another alternative way of income because I work as a freelancer these days. But one of the things that a lot of people don't know is that in addition to all my really expensive DSLR cameras, my photography comes from just whatever tool that I have. So I've taken photos from my website from my iPad before, from just any random point and shoot, from disposable cameras, and most often from my iPhone. So people tell me, oh, that camera is so cool and that's probably why you're such a great photographer. And I sometimes laugh at that because I don't think it's it's necessarily the camera. I think it's oftentimes the photographer, because you can get some amazing shots from just very mediocre cameras. So that being said, I have not only produced some quality shots from just my phone, but I've seen some amazing photographers on social media, on Instagram, on their own personal websites, post beautiful photos, and then in the caption it says taken with iPhone 7 or iPhone X. Because of copyright, I don't want to show the people's photos, but I've taken some really good shots, like this one, or this one, or this one, or this one, and they all came from my phone. So you can't make the excuse that you don't have a good enough camera to get some amazing shots, because you can't, okay? Because you just can't. Anyone can take a good photo if they're willing to put in the time, the effort, and the energy for it. All right? Cool. So that being said, I'm going to kind of give you my little tips and tricks about how you can also take amazing photos just from your own phone. Disclaimer, I don't want anyone to say that they can't do this just because their phone's not advanced. We know that the most recent phones being released from Samsung or from Apple are just incredible. Like, the specs are amazing and the cameras on them are just, it blows you away. I saw a commercial for a phone that had 5 separate cameras on the back and they combine all those images into one photo. That's incredible. But I'm saying that for the purposes of this video, you don't need that kind of phone to take a good photo, because I don't have that kind of phone. I personally have a crappy little iPhone 6s that I still get amazing shots from. So I don't want anyone on the internet making excuses saying that, oh, I can't do this because my phone's not high quality enough. Because if I can do it, so can you, and so can anyone else that you know. Okay, so rule number 1, whenever you're about to take a photo, make sure to clean your lens, okay? The beauty of photographers is that they have these high quality lenses that cost hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and they have lens covers that look a little bit like this that cover their lens and stops it from grime and dust and whatever getting on them, okay? If you have your iPhone or your own personal phone in your pocket, you don't have one of these covering the lens, right? So as you're walking around, dust from your pocket, water from the world, or things that are going to get on your lens and make your lens dirty, right? And people immediately take their phone out and grab a picture, and then they think it's going to be amazing. Well, of course not. You have dust and whatever on your camera. So wipe the lens, okay? So that's rule number 1. Rule number 2, manage your angles, okay? A lot of people immediately grab the phone and just start doing whatever with the angles. They start, shifting or whatever. And sometimes if it's intentional, I get that. If you're trying to do it for the aesthetic, trying to get a nice low down shot and trying to get a curve whatever shot like that, I get it. It looks cool and sometimes it adds a fun dimension to it. But if that's not the purpose, then just watch your angle. Make sure that your photo is well balanced, well centered, is being shot from a good angle, and there's a nice little element that's coming from that. When it comes to things like that, most phones have grid line options you can turn on them, right? If you just go in the settings, it tells you to add grids, and you can have grids on the display, so as you're taking the photo, it tells you if things are lined up with the grids or not. So then you can do, the 1/3 rule, where you can have your subject in the far left frame, and then there's 2 more spots on the side that can show a wide dimension. So watch your angles, just watch what perspective you're taking the picture with, so make sure that the picture turns out crisp and good and it looks professional, right? As opposed to something that, just a kid picked up and randomly clicked. Rule number 3. Make sure that your lighting is good. Okay, lighting is everything when it comes to photos. Essentially, photos are just capturing light. Our eyes, all they do all day, every day is capture light. So as you're taking a photo, if you're in crappy lighting, fix it. So that could be an easy fix like turning on the flash, or that could be a more sophisticated fix like moving to another area to where you're using lamps or like whatever. Something that people don't always realize is that there are sometimes lights in places that are unconventional or unorthodox. One of the worst culprits is the infamous top-down light. It looks awesome for a spotlight in a play or in a musical, but if you're just taking a normal photo, having a light right above your subject is going to cast some very, very gnarly shadows. It's going to make their eyes look droopy. It's going to make their nose look bigger, things of that nature. So if you can help it, make sure that there's not a direct light right above your subject. So that means that when you're taking photos of anyone, try to avoid taking photos at like high noon, because then the sun's right above and then you have some gnarly shadows casted right across the face, which is just not a good look, okay? In addition to that, make sure that you utilize the sun to help you and not hurt you. My rule always is, as the photographer, back to the sun. So if you're taking a photo of somebody, make sure that your back is to the source of light. So if that's the sun, or if that's whatever light you see in the room, put your back to that, so that way that the light is coming from behind you and illuminating the subject that's in front of you. So when you're taking the photo, they're not backlit or anything weird like that, okay? So lighting is everything. If someone's darker, give them a little bit more light. If someone's lighter, give them a little bit less light. The easy way that you can do this, a lot of people don't know that phones have this feature, is the tap feature. Okay? If you have 2 subjects in the photo, always tap on the face or the shirt of the darker subject, and your phone will automatically illuminate it based on that, right? So you tap on the dark subject and it illuminates the picture. Or alternatively, you tap on the light source and it darkens the picture and stops it from being blown out and over illuminated, right? I don't know, I'm making this generalization that all phones have the tap feature, but I'm pretty sure they all do, and a lot of them sophisticatedly enough do. So if you ever grab a phone and start taking a photo, make sure that you tap on whatever you're taking a photo of, so your phone can be like, okay, that's the subject, that's the focus, so let me adjust the lightings automatically for that subject. It actually makes your job as a photographer super easy, because you don't have to do that all manually like I have to do on my DSLR. You can just let the phone do it, but it won't be able to do it. It won't know to do it unless you tap on whatever you're gonna be taking a photo of. So tap, tap, tap to adjust your lighting. Rule number 4. I don't know, is this rule number 4? This is rule number 4. Rule number 4. Rule number 4 is color. Color is one of the most underrated things in the world. I think you all seen those viral videos on the internet of people who are colorblind getting those cool glasses and all of a sudden they can see, right? And they are brought to tears and it's super touching. That's because color honestly takes people's breaths away. So a photo can go from to wow if you just like bring out the colors within it. And that all happens actually post-production. So after you take the photo on your phone, you just immediately go into the settings and you click on edit photo and you just bring up this feature called the saturation. If you know what saturation is, great. A lot of people don't know that. While you're editing photos, saturation is kind of your friend, at least for my photo style, right? I always bring out a little bit of the saturation and I also remove a little bit of the shadows just so the colors can bounce a little bit more without being blown out or like muddled into darkness, okay? So color is your friend. Try to, whenever you're taking photos of somebody, try to have them move to a background that's like really fun and dynamic, or hope that they're wearing some color on them. I know I'm a bad example today because I'm in all black, but just take my word for it. Get someone who's wearing some dynamic colors, get them in front of some flowers or something amazing. Get them to wear, something, simple that kind of illuminates their natural colors, like their eye color or their skin color if you got some melanin in you like I do. right? So color is your friend. Utilize color to bring out the light. Okay, so those are essentially the 4 things that will make or break your photo, right? Thing number 1, how clean your lens is. Make sure a clean lens happens, otherwise you won't take a clean photo. Thing number 2, your angle, your perspective. Make sure you're in a place where you can able to better frame and shoot your subject to where they're not out of the frame somewhere, askew, or the picture is tilted or whatever. So grid lines will be your friend. Lighting, make sure there's no harsh top-down light. Make sure that you're tapping on the subject or tapping on whatever you're taking a photo of, so that way the camera knows to adjust the lighting to whatever in particular, specifically that you're taking a photo of, right? Thing number 4, color, okay? Color makes the world literally a better place. So make sure to bring out the colors in your photos post-production. But after you take it, just go into the editing tool that most phones and most, cameras have, where you can just automatically increase a little bit of the saturation, just bring out some of those nice natural colors, okay? Our eyes capture a lot more colors than cameras do. So that's why they need a little bit of help. Go into the settings right afterwards and increase the color, so that way the photo can jump out at you and all those colors can really hit. So that's my little advice about how to take really, really good photos. Obviously, this is going to be different for every single person. It just comes with time. You got to practice. You got to make sure that you're willing to go out of your comfort zone and take photos. Just like anything, photography requires you to practice. You can't get better so that you don't practice. So just go out there and try to use a simple whatever camera you have, and utilize those 4 little tips and take some amazing shots, and then share them on the internet. Ask people for advice. Try to see in what ways you can learn from those that have done it before you. Okay, but hopefully that's been able to help you out. Hopefully these are things that you've considered before, or if you haven't considered before, hopefully they're things that you're now considering while taking photos. If you have any questions about any of the terminology that I use in this video, just drop them below and ask me, or Google it. You can Google stuff, because we have the world of information at our fingertips. But let me know, because I tend to, especially when I talk about photography, I tend to talk over people's heads. Not because I'm just the greatest photographer ever and I know the most about it, because I don't. A lot of this is self-taught, and I don't claim to be the master of it all. But I do know that not a lot of people know what things like aperture mean, or ISO, or things of that nature. So yeah, let me know if you have questions. Just drop them in the comments. If you are interested in more of my photography personally, again, follow me on the social media. I have a portraits page. I have a landscape photography page. I have a website that I keep pretty up to date. And you can also follow me on Snapchat, because I sometimes, as I mentioned, I use my iPhone for photography. So a lot of my Snapchats look like my photography photos, right? Except they don't have my cool little logo on there. And I love my logo. It's not cool. I designed that myself. If you can notice, it's SincerelySeth. The 2 S's come together to make a lens, an aperture. Isn't that dope? Okay, sorry, I'm tooting my own horn. But yeah, definitely follow me and let me know what photos you've been taking, and definitely ask me questions if you're confused about anything I said. Drop some comments below and tell me, how the photos turned out, or link them so I can go and comment on them, because I love supporting you guys in the same way that I desire for you guys to support me too. Honestly, I keep saying it, this page is a way for me to grow my community. Okay, I'm trying to build kind of this, global family. So definitely show me those amazing shots that you've taken. As always, it's a pleasure to chat with you. I hope your week has been amazing. I wish you all the success, the same success that I've been having lately, because life has been so good right now. So I wish the same thing for all of you out there. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for bearing with me for the past, however minutes this video is. And yeah, tune back in soon to see more and more videos, and we'll kind of just see where the page goes from here. So anyway, have an awesome week. Have a great weekend if it's weekend time, and God bless. Peace.